We are very glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Martina Abera. President Paul Kagame has received a bipartisan United States congressional delegation led by Representative Brett Guthrie, chairman of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce. Their discussions focused on Rwanda's transformation journey, as well as ways to deepen bilateral cooperation in areas of mutual interest, including health, energy, and investment. The delegation is composed of Troy Carter, Morgan Griffith, Russ Fulcher, Jay Obernolte, Cliff Bentz, Craig Goldman, and Julie Fedorchak. Moving ahead, a communique that was released by the Office of the Prime Minister pursuant to the Constitution of the Republic of Rwanda, especially in its Article 112, today, 30th July 2026, His Excellency the President has made the following appointments. Brigadier General Innocent Munyengango, Chief Executive Officer of Aviation Travel and Logistics Holding Limited. Mr. Jules Muheto Ndenga, Chief Executive Officer of Airport City. And this was signed on the 30th of July, Kigali, on behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda. Moving ahead, colleagues of the late Senator Donatille Mukabalisa, who passed away on Thursday, have said they will always remember her as a leader who listened to everyone, demonstrated humility, and consistently put the interests of the country first. She was one of Rwanda's most experienced public leaders, having served in the country's highest institutions for more than 20 years, including over a decade as Speaker of the Chamber of Deputies in Parliament. Those who knew the senator remember her as a motherly figure whose values were rooted in love, compassion, dedication, humility, respect for everyone, and deep patriotism. Before assuming senior leadership positions in government, Donatille Mukabalisa worked for the World Health Organization and later for the United Nations Development Programme. Following the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, she chose to dedicate herself to serving the public. The journey led her to Parliament, where she first served as a Member of Parliament before being entrusted in 2013 with leading the Chamber of Deputies as its Speaker, a position she held for more than 10 years before becoming a senator. Her fellow senators remember her as someone with a generous spirit who was always willing to help others and share her knowledge and experience. During her political career, Senator Mukabalisa also served as president of the Liberal Party. In a statement, the party extended its condolences to its members and to the wider parliament community. In a separate message of condolence, the Social Democratic Party expressed sympathy to her family and to members of the Liberal Party, saying she leaves a legacy that inspires both young and old to love their country and encourage others to do the same. The party also said she will always be remembered for her contribution to strengthening democracy in Rwanda. She died after an illness at the age of 66. Rwanda's Chief Justice Honorable Domitilla Mukanaganzwa has received Ambassador Belén Calvo Uyara, who has served for more than 4 years as the European Union's representative in Rwanda, on a farewell visit. Ambassador Belén Calvo Uyara said that her discussions with the Chief Justice focused on primarily the achievements of the partnership between Rwanda and the European Union in the justice sector.
But it's also a great opportunity to remind us of the work that we've been together. We're proud of our partnership and the trust over the past 4 years and the work that we've been doing with the judiciary. It's been very impressive to see that over these years we've published a number we published the summary of the jurisprudence on the genocide against the Tutsi. We published also a big portal that allows to summarize all the jurisprudence in the country with a great number of access. And also we are working together together with all the key actors in the justice sector on alternative dispute resolution mechanism, which has helped in reducing the backlog in courts and is a great contribution to access to justice and to quality of the justice. So we're very proud with this partnership. I think this program is an example of the achievement of the work that we are doing together and on the continued journey. So we close the door, but we open other doors because these programs will continue also after my departure, and there will be still a lot of work to do together. So yes, very pleased that we will continue walking this journey together.
During her tenure in Rwanda, Ambassador Belén Calvo Uyara focused on strengthening relations between Rwanda and the European Union in sectors including the promotion of environmentally sustainable agriculture, healthcare, trade and investment, governance, justice, and other areas. The Rwanda Defense Force has welcomed a new cohort of young men and women into its ranks following the successful completion of 6 months of intensive basic military training at the Basic Military Training Center, Nasho, in Kirehe District. The pass-out ceremony was presided over by the Chief of Defense Staff of the Rwanda Defense Force, General M.K. Mubarak, and attended by RDF generals, senior and junior officers, as well as other ranks. During the ceremony, the newly trained soldiers demonstrated the knowledge and skills they had acquired throughout their training, including marksmanship and a range of tactical drills, highlighting their readiness to undertake operational duties. In his remarks, General M.K. Mubarak congratulated the recruits on their resilience, commitment, and determination throughout the demanding training program. He welcomed them into the RDF family and urged them to apply the knowledge and skills they gained in safeguarding Rwanda's sovereignty and protecting its citizens. General M.K. Mubarak also reiterated the guidance delivered by His Excellency, the President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Rwanda Defense Force to young people participating in the Indangamirwa program at the Gabiro Military Training Center in Gatsibo District. He encouraged the recruits to uphold the Kinyarwanda language, Rwandan culture, traditions, principles, and values while remaining vigilant and prepared to confront any threats to the nation's security. He further urged them to reject complacency, divisionism, and rhetoric that promote such tendencies, as well as negative behaviors, including excessive alcohol consumption and immoral conduct. General Mubarak reminded the new soldiers that the training they completed marked only the beginning of their military careers, emphasizing that their professional development would continue through further training to enhance their knowledge and skills in line with the evolving requirements of the RDF. He challenged them to put their training into practice, uphold the RDF's vision and mission, and contribute to building a professional, capable, and disciplined force. He particularly underscored the importance of discipline and adherence to the RDF's core values as they integrate into their respective units and serve alongside their fellow soldiers. The Chief of Defense Staff also commended the leadership of BMTC Nasho, particularly the instructors, for their unwavering dedication to developing the recruits' knowledge, skills, and leadership qualities, thereby preparing them to make an effective contribution to the defense of the country. Rwanda's private sector says it is confident that it will fully meet its 43% contribution toward implementing the country's second national strategy for transformation. The implementation of the plan will require 64 trillion Rwandan francs between 2025 and 2029. Increasing revenue from the mining sector is one of the key targets under the 5-year development strategy. The sector is expected to generate $1.1 billion in annual export earnings. Investment in the sector includes that of Luna Smelter, a cassiterite processing plant, which has invested 17 billion Rwandan francs since 2019 and is now adding another 7 billion Rwandan francs to expand its operations. The expansion is expected to increase the plant's monthly production capacity from 240 to 330 tons.
And I'll say that we fit in the target of NST2 because value addition is something very key, right, for the country. And there are so many benefits in value addition of raw minerals. You know, Rwanda alone produces more than 600 tons of cassiterite. And our aim is to become a national hub, actually a regional hub, where we can process most of the cassiterite which is sourced from Rwanda, and then we can add value to it. So this fits with NS2 targets, and we are proud to do it.
A significant share of NST2's financing is expected to come from tax revenue, which is projected to exceed 4 trillion Rwandan francs annually, equivalent to 16.8% of the country's gross domestic product. The government is expected to contribute more than 36 trillion Rwandan francs, accounting for the remaining 57% of the total financing required to implement all the objectives of NST2. However, a report by the United Nations Development Programme indicates that Rwanda faces an annual financing gap equivalent to 8 to 9% of its GDP, about $1 billion per year, needed to fully implement the 5-year national strategy for transformation. Moving ahead, as artificial intelligence reshapes how people work, learn, and communicate, Rwanda is bringing together policymakers, technology experts, businesses, and civil society to examine how the internet should be governed in an AI-driven world while ensuring innovation, security, and digital rights advance together. William Evans Mutabazi reports.
Artificial intelligence is transforming economies and changing how people access information, do business, and interact online. But as technology evolves rapidly, governments are increasingly confronted with the pressing question on how innovation can be encouraged while protecting people from emerging digital risks.
Rwanda as a country has done a lot in trying to make sure that the internet is properly governed through its policies and regulatory frameworks, through technical controls that are put in place, and I'll give you examples. Rwanda, unlike many countries on our continent, is one country that has set up a policy on child online protection. It's deliberate, because they know the dangers of internet. That's a gap they're trying to close. They have enacted that law, that policy on child online protection, because they understand the different layers at which children could succumb to some of internet's dangers. All those come from discussions in internet governance that at a country level, people can just stand up and say, at this age, people cannot access A, B, C, D.
Participants say that effective internet governance cannot be shaped by governments alone. Young people, among the largest users of artificial intelligence and digital platforms, say that they should have a stronger voice in decisions that affect their digital future.
I would say it's quite a bit of a challenge. We still have few people in the places where these policies are being made. However, I do believe that we as the primary users and the ones who are actually using AI more, we need to have space and time to actually give feedback to what we are observing, how we are using it, and then at some point we can have everybody actually come together and use this internet for the good of all of us.
Igikwiye gushyirwamo imbaraga nuko ubuyobozi bwacu bukwiye kuganiriza abantu.
What should be emphasized more by our leaders is more engagement, especially with people in the rural areas and youth, so that we all get to know how much technology can drive development, but also the effects of misusing technology, particularly artificial intelligence. Leaders should also support parents to come up with controls to protect their children who are using technology, particularly artificial intelligence, during community gatherings and community service events.
Government
officials say that digital governance is now central to Rwanda's long-term development agenda as artificial intelligence becomes increasingly integrated into public services, education, business, and everyday life. They argue that building trust, accountability, and inclusive digital policies will be essential to ensuring technology benefits everyone.
This forum convenes at a defining moment in our national journey. Under the second national strategy for transformation, NST2, digital transformation is not treated as the standalone sector. It is a cross-cutting enabler of inclusive growth, of better and more accountable governance, and of sustainable development across every part of our economy and society. That strategy in turn serves a longer horizon of vision of 2050 and Rwanda's ambition to build a knowledge-based, digital, empowered economy and society.
With artificial intelligence expected to influence nearly every sector of society, discussions at the forum are expected to help shape policies that encourage innovation while protecting rights, strengthening digital security, and ensuring no one is left behind in Rwanda's digital transformation.
On that note, we've come to the end of tonight's English Bulletin. On behalf of the news production team and the technical team, thank you for sticking with us here on RTV News. My name is Martina Avera, and until next time, stay safe and have a good night.